Last week, I didn't send a message out. It was one of those weeks, if you know what I mean. I had good intentions. I had scheduled time to send out messages, and I even knew what I wanted to say. But other things kept popping up. I had a car that needed to be repaired, so I dropped it off in Pleasant Grove, then rode my bike to school. On my way to pick it back up, I got a flat and ended up walking 3 miles to get there. I ended up in the emergency room with one of my kids for a couple of hours. 4 stitches to her tongue, a long night, and the next morning where she just wanted to be held, and she's pretty much better now. I also had one of those weeks where several of my plans were changed. Information I'd been given has changed, and I had to make new plans, adjust midstream, and all those seemed to be urgent and need to be done immediately. All this took time, and at some of those points, it was easy for me to focus on why is this happening to me now? Why is this going wrong? Why isn't this working the way that I want it to? As I've reflected about my week, there are a couple of lessons I've learned. Even in the unplanned situations, good things happened. If I focus too much on what isn't going right, it easily overshadows what is going right. For example, at the emergency room, my 2-year-old daughter didn't cry, was very brave. Literally, she was an angel. She had been known her whole life to cry as soon as we walked into the doctor's office. When we sat in the parking lot and asked her, "Do you want mom or dad to take you in?" And she said, "Dad," I thought I'd lost. I thought I'd lost. I didn't want to take her in there. She was going to cry the whole time, and it was going to up to me to try and calm her and get her through this experience. However, the doctors and nurses were great, and her response was a very unexpected miracle that day. Even though my car was broken and it needed fixing in order to pass emissions, I was able to find a place to fix it for 35% less than my original quote. That was good for me. I also was able to find the solution to the problems that came up last week quicker than I had anticipated and much quicker than it had taken me in the past. I think it is easy during COVID 19 to focus on what we don't have, what we can't do, and what is different. We may choose to find those things that are positive: more quality time with family, less commitments to my evening schedule, more flexibility to develop a new hobby, an ability to slow down, watch a movie one more time, and to think about life. Additionally, I've reflected that often when we are consumed with what is going on now, we lose sight of the future and may lack the ability to plan for the future. I was so involved in just trying to survive my daily problems that I couldn't tell you what was coming up the next week or the things that I needed to get done. I like to think that what we are doing now as a school is helping us prepare for the future. There are articles in the papers about how flying will never be the same after what we have learned through this experience. Hopefully, education at Lincoln will never be the same either. Hopefully, we are better, finding new ways to engage and reach students, finding ways to supplement what happens in the classroom, and finding ways to become better educators. I guess what I'm saying is don't be like me. Don't get bogged down so much that in what isn't going right or what you don't have that you forget the good that is taking place and that you are thinking about how to get better in the future.